Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365, and today I'm going to review the 4K edition of Boyz n the Hood. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification. I put out videos every single day. You can also find me over Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at Movie Guy 365, as well as over at the Disney Magic Hour podcast. I will put a link for that in the description. Okay, Boyz n the Hood is here, and as you can see, it is the Best Buy exclusive 4K Steelbook. Now, there's also a standard slipcover edition that has been released at your local retailer, so go ahead and check that out if you prefer that version, which is more or less the original poster art. I normally would have preferred that, I think, but me being a Steelbook collector, I just decided to go for this one. Plus, it was the only option Best Buy actually had. Typically, when Sony releases catalog titles, they only release the Steelbook initially, and then eventually they will get in the slipcover. So if your only availability is Best Buy and you want the slipcover, you're just going to have to wait that one out. So as of right now, it's only the Steelbook. Alright, so let's do a quick unboxing, and then we'll come back and talk about the picture quality and the audio. Okay, we have the Boyz n the Hood Steelbook Edition available over at Best Buy. They do have a slipcover edition, as I mentioned earlier. You can get that at your other retailers. I like the gold look to it, but I actually prefer the slipcover artwork. I probably would have picked that one up if that had been available to me on purchase. So we have the back cover there and the spine, and interior wise, unfortunately, it's just a gold background there, no artwork or anything else. So this is what we get, our standard 4K and Blu Ray disc. So all right, let's jump into the picture quality and the audio. Generally, I get pretty excited when I hear that Sony is going to be releasing a catalog title in the 4K format. They have a good history of it. One of the ones that particularly stood out to me last year was Stephen King's Christine, directed by John Carpenter. I felt that was a beautiful restoration. It looked pretty awesome, and it really gave the film its due as far as a film of that age. And while Boyz n the Hood is not quite that old, Sony, I was very confident, was going to put together a great presentation here in 4K. So picture quality, we're given HDR10, and I think it looks fantastic. One of the most important things that is intact is the natural film grain because it was actually shot on film back in the 90s. That's how they did things. But yeah, so the film grain is intact, but I don't feel it's obtrusive at all. I think it's natural. It lends itself to the beauty of how it was shot, and I think overall it's beautifully done. No problems there whatsoever. Sometimes I've seen films that have been DNR'd to death, and it can really just put a bummer on the overall presentation. For me, this is a perfect representation of how the film was naturally intended to look. Now, as far as utilizing those HDR moments, I think they're done very well. Clothing and just the general aesthetics of the area look really nice. They look natural, but they give you that little extra pop and zip to the color palette. It looks great. It doesn't look out of place. It doesn't look like it's they're trying for something picturesque that they weren't meant to do, and it looks pretty good. It looks really, really nice. As far as detail goes, we get a fair amount of detail. There's a little softness on a couple spots here and there, but that's just source material. That's something that really can't be necessarily ironed out in this situation. But I would say 99% of the time, you get that extra layer of detail. You know, everything from skin texture, clothing, all that stuff stands out. It's really well done in this aspect. Black levels look good. There are some nighttime scenes that make special use of it. Referring back to Christine earlier from Sony, that also looked really good. Those black levels looked very nice at nighttime, and I think they did themselves a favor here. Also really well utilized. So I'm very happy with how the 4K picture presentation turned out. Audio wise, we're given a brand new Dolby Atmos, and yes, this thing came to play. As you can imagine, audio cues are king here. Whenever those kick on, you're going to feel it in your bass. You're going to feel the appropriate filling up of your soundstage. It sounds pretty amazing. It's it's a good mix of immersive as well as action. You know, whenever something's happening, a lot of the times the rears are going to be utilized during, you know, scenes where there's a bunch of people talking, or there's a crowd, or there's music. Those things are well done. It sounded really good. I will have to say though, as far as the height speakers go, it was very minimal. I think I detected once or twice it really kicked on, and it just kind of was like its own discrete, you know, action going on in those speakers. But for the most part, it's pretty. I think it just blends well into the overall soundscape. It's probably not as noticeable. There wasn't a whole lot of discrete action, but it's still it was there if you really were listening for it. Your front heavy action going on up front sounds good. All your front speakers are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Your center channel, very clear to easy to understand conversations and dialogue, no problems whatsoever. And of course the LFE it's a moderate to moderate aggressive. It's good. It kicks in on those really needed moments, but you know, I think for the most part it's done in a very admirable restraint. It's, you know, you could, when musical cues like this kick in, you could definitely have more of that going on, but I think it does the right level, and it's a really good overall Atmos mix. I am very impressed by Sony that they were able to put such love and care into this, and it just makes me excited for more future catalog stuff that we get, hopefully very soon. So Boyz in the Hood, I'm going to give picture quality, I think, very nice A. It's good. It's really just a very overall pleasing picture. Audio wise, equally impressive. I'm going to give that one an A-. Just a little bit low levels here and there, a little bit more discrete action could have bumped this up a little bit more, but I think for the most part it's a winning Atmos mix. You're definitely going to enjoy your presentation. Crank up that home theater, you are not going to regret it. So that is my review for Boyz in the Hood. Let me know in the comments below if you had a chance to pick it up, and what did you think of the 4K? I really enjoyed it. I can't wait to watch it again. In the meantime, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. I put out videos every single day. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.